ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all wonderful ages, it's happened. It actually happened. This is something that I never thought would happen in an age as young as mine, but it has. And it's something that has me at a loss for words. But it has to be said. And this is something I need to confirm for myself. On June 9th, 2014, Rik Mayall, wonderful comedian, talented man, and all-around smashing guy, passed away at age 56. And I've got nothing for that, guys. I'm serious. If it was like any other celebrity that unfortunately passed on, say like Michael Jackson when he passed away 5 years ago or something, my initial reaction was literally this: what? No one cares about him. While I can see why people would be affected by Michael Jackson's passing, that didn't really affect me because I wasn't a fan of his. I respected his work, but didn't really affect me as much. Same can be said for, say, George Carlin. He is a really funny guy, stand up in film, whatever. But whenever he passed away, that didn't really affect me as much because at the time I wasn't into comedy, and to be fair, I'm not as major fan as some people I would know. But for this article to say in bold writing, "The young one star Rik Mayall dies, age 56." There's nothing else you can say. For me, who had so much respect for him, continuously watching his material over and over again, I can remember it like it was yesterday. Like I mentioned before, I wasn't the biggest fan of comedy until I was like in college. I might have watched like Blackadder, Little Britain maybe, but I wasn't into them. I might have chuckled at a few jokes, but it's not like I was saying, oh, we'll watch a new episode every week, I can't wait for it. But browsing through the early days of YouTube, whenever people would professionally mix up audio from TV shows and mix them with, say, like Thomas the Tank Engine, I came across someone who did a few videos who did Thomas the Tank Engine spliced with the young ones.
Will you stop making that revolting noise, Vivian? You know I'm ill. You're only doing it to make me feel worse.
You're ill. I'm the one who's ill.
Will you two shut up? I'm trying to be ill.
That got me intrigued to say, wow, these people sound unique, remarkable even. I have to know what's going on around here. So at that point I was earning a little bit of money anyway, so I sought out both seasons of the young ones, both DVDs, and just watched them all the way through in one sitting, and it changed my life, man. It really did. Every single joke, every single story, every single character, most of all, were unbelievably funny, and it's taught me in a way that entertainment couldn't possibly be conjured up.
Vivian, if you can't keep control of your socks, you shan't be allowed to have any.
Kill! 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 Kill!
Oh, well, that's nice talk coming from a vegetarian.
Socks aren't vegetables, man. They should be wiped out.
Well, I hope you're satisfied, Dr. Neil Goebbels. It's dead now.
It was a mercy killing.
You know, Adrian Emberson, Nigel Planner, and Christopher Ryan, they were all funny in their own right, but the one who struck me the most was Rik himself. There was just something about him that couldn't be explained, why he was the way he was, why he was so funny. No matter what he did, no matter what he said, we were all laughing.
You'll be the one with the enormous tits.
Never mind you. Vivian, will you stop being so sexist? They're called breasts and everybody has them. Well, I don't. Yes, and nor did Adolf Hitler.
Young Ones wasn't the only thing he did, though. And it took me a while to figure that out because I'm not like the movie TV buff that I claim to be right now. But eventually I came across some other TV shows that he was in. Like I said, he was in Blackadder.
Still worshipping God? Last thing I heard, he started worshipping me.
But most notably of all, he and Adrian Emerson created Bottom. In my opinion, that is one of the best comedy shows that has ever been put onto film. I am dead serious. Even if you watch it like 20,000 times, it'll still be funny. Anything that you hear, any slapstick that you see, just anything. Those two made it work.
Are you calling me a liar?
No, I'm calling you a tosser.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
I guess that's why we kind of felt for him too, because he was enduring all this suffering in this show. And while we loved it, there was a part of us also, I would like to think, that was like, "Aw, dude, I feel your pain, man."
What?
I know he's been in like other stuff on TV as well, not just comedy wise, and it's kind of funny to see. I was looking through his filmography a few days ago just to see what he was in, just to see if he still had that magic outside of comedy. And it was a little surprising to me too that he was in kids TV. And I'm like, whoa, really? The unadulterated, pretty much childish Rik Mayall in children's television, it kind of makes sense, but what are you able to fit into that material? So I watched some of the stuff that he has appeared in kids-wise. The first one of those was Grim Tales, I believe. Basically, it was just like him telling these renditions of famous fairy tales and such. It might be ones we know, like Rapunzel, The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids, those kind of stories. And then there might be other tales that you never knew existed. Maybe they will just adapt just strictly for the show in general, but no matter what story he told, he still had that energy to go around being all,
Oh, great. She's gone. About time too, 'cause I'm starving. Now I'll be able to eat those three little pigs. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow. No, I won't. That's what I did yesterday. No, I know. It's the 7 little goats for dinner today.
just any story that he did, he always had that energy.
Smash! Look! White feet! Lovely voice! Everything! Please let me in!
I guess because he did so well in that Jack and Nori episode where he told, I believe, George's Marvelous Medicine. I guess that's why people were like, huh, he can tell a story and just be entertaining for the kids. Let's do it.
The fire's out, George announced proudly. You'll be all right now, Grandma. All right, she yelled. Who's all right? There's squigglers in my belly. There's bangers in my bottom.
What surprises me most of all is that while he can entertain my kids that way, being over the top, what surprised me was there was one show that he did for kids that kind of had him underplayed, and that was Jellykins. It's just your basic preschool show for kids, sort of like Teletubbies with the narrator saying what all these characters are doing, which, by the way, those things are as creepy as hell. Have you listened to how they sound whenever Rick isn't talking?
Oh, I know what it is. It's a unicycle. They're quite tricky things to ride. Just wait a minute, Bouncy!
And the CG is just marish as well, nothing special. But like I said, the most surprising thing is that Rick, with being the narrator, is keeping it underplayed. He's just talking, not going above his usual vocal cords.
That's it. Whoa. Whoops, 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 whoops. Wow, look at Pepper and Strum. Aren't they good? Now, what else is in the box?
So he can do it gently in a sense and still be energetic. But it's just surprising to me that he would do something like that and he was not screaming his head off and just being mental. The good mental, mind you.
What a jelly-tastic circus!
One other kid show that I sort of remember, but I just don't remember much of it, was King Arthur's Disasters, I think it was. It was just a basic 2D animation cartoon where he played King Arthur, sorting out the love for this chick in a tower, I forget her name, and he gets the help of Merlin, voiced by Matt Lucas of all people. Isn't that hilarious?
Look, just remind me where we're going.
Madrid, sire, in Spain.
Spain?
Yes, sire, where Spanish donkeys come from.
Oh, yes, of course, I knew that all the time, yes.
I don't remember much of that show. It was years, yonks since I've seen that. But I just remember the way that King Arthur is being so selfish, doing whatever he wants for his own causes. It sort of reminds me of Count Dracula in a sense, just not caring what he has to do in order to do it. He just wants what he wants.
On to Madrid! Not you, Merlin. You can walk.
Okay, well, I thought King Arthur was honorable, but okay, you're the creator of the show. I'm not judging you.
Have this! Have this! Don't!
That's the spirit.
So no matter what he was in, whether it's in TV for adults, TV for children, and even freaking audiobooks where he just narrated away and created his own stuff, you just have to think, what was it about Rik Mayall that was so different from other comedians? I mean, you could have slapstick in your comedy and people would still laugh. You could act like a child in comedy and people would still laugh. There would be a demographic for that. And you can just say a clever line. That's just the basic thing for comedians and people will laugh. So why was Rik so different? It's not just recently. It's those years, ever since I first saw the young ones, where I had to think to myself, why was he like that? Why people loved him so much? I was reading an article that a few of his friends, his colleagues were saying, and one of them would have liked to think that it was because of that energy. He still had it ever since he started out into the media, and he still had it ever since his untimely passing. And that's amazing. You could go on to this career that you have for over 30 years and you still make people laugh, no matter what you did, even if it's just something over the top like getting smacked with a prop chair or just the simple motion of that would make people laugh. It was just what he had, that energy. People wanted more of that, and it's surprising to see that even in his mid to late 50s, he still had that energy, and he even said himself that he would carry on no matter what. Maybe I could be wrong on that. Maybe there is some other reason why Rik was so lovable in his own right. But for me, at least, I think it was the energy. No matter what he was in, no matter what he did, he was still loved, not just by the audience, but by his colleagues too. They even agreed that there was no other person like him, both on the screen and personal-wise. And you can pretty much see where I get my childish humor from. Just from one guy and his belief in fascism or something. This is pretty much my Michael Jackson, guys. It's hard to believe that he has gone for good in this world, but he's never gone in your soul, man. He brought us something that can never be taken away, and as long as we still have that, man, then there's no reason to be sad. if we just keep laughing away at what he did and with him, then it was not all for nothing. I'm the preschool guy, and God bless you, Rik Mayall. We'll miss you.
'Cause I was born to love you, I feel it now, and you were born to save me from myself.
Hands up, who likes me? This house will become a shrine, and punks and skins and rastas will all gather round and hold their hands in sorrow for their fallen leader, and all the grown-ups will say, "But why are the kids crying?" And the kids will say, "Haven't you heard? Rik is